Anthony Richardson probably just turned out one of the greatest combine performances of all time. And that's of all time. If you look at it, Cam Newton was close up there, but Anthony Richardson, at least for a quarterback, had the greatest combine performance of all time. A godlike performance. Breaking records, as he's statistically in the combine, is the fastest quarterback to ever run the 40. You look at the high jump, the long jump, he set the record. Ridiculous out of Anthony Richardson. Just to put into scale how quick this guy is, he ran a faster 40 than Texas running back Bijan Robinson, who's going to be the number one running back. Yes, running back off the board. And that's why I kind of wanted to go into this to say teams are going to be horrified if they don't pick him and he comes back and burns them. This guy has all the potential in the world to be the best quarterback in the league in the next 3 years. All the potential in the world. Does he have all the potential in the world to bust out too? Be a Jamarcus Russell type? Yes. But I just don't think we understand how athletically gifted this guy is and what his ceiling is. His ceiling is the greatest player ever. Like, if you have a chance to draft somebody with that ceiling, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. If you really think about it, this year's quarterback class, not the strongest. There's no like really star guy. I think C.J. Stroud's going to be a really good pro, but even he's got some issues that he just needs to handle, and obviously he needs to get drafted in the right system. And then Bryce Young, his height, he might be too small. He could be too injury prone. There's no thing on him that says like if you're going to draft him, he's going to be a lock, especially in a bad organization. If he goes to the Texans, there could be huge issues. That's why, even if you look at Will Levis, he's an I don't know kind of guy. Do I see him being a top 5 quarterback at some point, top 10? No, but you never know. Anthony Richardson is a guy that I would take number 1, and it's a hot take. It's a really hot take, but I would be just scared to death. There have been reports saying that GMs are scared to death of not taking this guy, which I would be too, because the potential that he has. Sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith in the NFL. If you're the Houston Texans, why not draft him? I was thinking about that yesterday. Why not take a chance on somebody that has the potential to be as good as him? What are you going to be? Most likely, what you're going to do is, if you're the Houston Texans, you're going to get one of these 3 quarterbacks, Bryce, Will, or Stroud, and you're going to ruin them anyway. And you're going to be right back here in 5 years. Why not take the potential? Because you're always bad. If you're the Texans, you're always bad. If you're the Colts, for the most part, other than Manning and a few luck years, you're always bad. If you're the Raiders, recently, you're always bad. Why not take this risk on this guy that could make you really good? And if he's bad, what's going to change? You have to take risks in this league. That's why, after what I've seen through the eye test, through the ability of his deep ball, through his quickness, like if we're looking at player comps here, this guy has the body of Cam Newton and the mobility of Lamar Jackson mixed together. Do you understand how lethal that could be in the NFL? I remember how many red flags and questions there were about Lamar Jackson when he was coming into the NFL. There were so many questions, and I think he was the last pick of the first round. He's won an NFL MVP, guys. He's got one of the greatest winning percentages over 4 or 5 years ever in history through quarterbacks. Sometimes you got to take a leap of faith, guys. And I don't think they will. But I'm just saying, if I'm the GM of one of these teams and I'm in the position to take the first quarterback off the board, I think I'm taking Richardson. And as hot of a take as I said it is, I think it's a no-brainer if you look at this class. If we're in next year's class and there's a guy like Caleb Williams out there, I'm drafting Caleb Williams. I'm not drafting Anthony Richardson. You just got to think about the class. You got to think, if you look at the breakdown of first-round quarterbacks that have been taken, I think there's been like 30 in the past 5 years. 8 have been all pros. So you're looking at that. These are first round bouted guys, and that's what it is. And some of the other people that have been all pros are injury prone and they're reeling right now. So if you look at it, I think Anthony Richardson should be the number 1 guy off the board. That's just what I think. And you have to look at, I think another thing that people point to is the losses in Florida. He lost a lot of games, but you have to understand that in college football, one guy cannot win the whole thing. I mean, and he's playing in a conference like the SEC where you just have juggernauts all around there, so you're not going to win as many games. I mean, you could say the same with Will Levis. But another thing that you have to understand with Richardson is this is only the first year under his belt. This is the first year he's played, first year he started. So yeah, there's going to be questions, but like, if he plays one more year, who knows? He could be in Heisman conversation. Maybe the team gets better. Maybe they're fighting for the SEC title game. We don't know. Some of the plays that this guy can make are just ridiculous. There's a play against Utah where his biggest play. He's airborne in the air, twists out of it, and runs into the end zone against them. And it's ridiculous. It's an absolutely ridiculous play that, it's like, gosh, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That's what you should be drafting. You should be drafting the people where you're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. Because think about the potential. Why not take the risk? If you're that bad, why not take the risk? And that's why these teams continue to be bad. And I'm not sitting here once again saying Bryce Young, CJ Stroud are going to be busts in this league. I don't think that. I think Stroud's going to be a good quarterback. I just don't know if those guys can overcome bad situations. I think the only one out of these 4 quarterbacks that can overcome a situation like that would be Richardson if he's great. If like the raw potential finds a way to pass out, I think he's the only guy that can overcome it. But I mean, it's to be seen. It's to be seen, but more of the story, I would take him number 1. What do you got to lose, Texans? What do you got to lose, Colts? What do you got to lose, Raiders? Think about that. What do you got to lose?